Hey everybody, it's Ryan Boyles. We're back for, I think, our last pre-conference IBM Insight chat, and I'm bringing along some of my favorite people, the people I work with every day. You've already met Ted on previous Hangouts. He's co-hosted with me, but I want to introduce two other members of the team, of the digital team for the conference. And I want to kick it over to Eileen. How are you doing?
I am great, thank you.
Where are you calling in from? How's the weather?
I'm calling in from Austin.
What other small talk can we integrate into this chat?
I know this has become my standard routine. I'm sorry to subject you to it, but I just want everybody to understand the global nature of our effort.
That's okay. Austin, cloudy.
Yes, Austin, cloudy. I'm in Wake Forest. I know, Ted, you're in New York, and let's kick it over and introduce Doris. Where are you calling in from?
Hi everyone, I'm calling in from Brooklyn, New York, right outside New York City. And the weather is beautiful here, which is rare for us. We're having a warm fall.
Yeah, yep. It has been warm here in North Carolina up until about a week ago, but it's still pretty. We have a state fair in town, so my kids are dying to go to that, but we'll see. Let's get right into this. I think we assembled the super team minus a couple of members who couldn't make it today. To really just talk about a social media preview. We're just going to run down for everybody that watches this. We're just going to run down really a quick list of what we think you ought to pay attention to when it comes to getting engaged with social media at the conference. And we're going to kind of give it an interesting spin here. We're going to talk about the happenings and what's going on, but we're going to do it in context of some of the apps that we know that you use on your phone while you're at the conference. So I'm going to get it sort of underway here and talk really briefly about a new space that we've created at the conference for general attendees to hang out, as well as our social VIPs, which are external influencers that are going to be at the conference. In previous years, we've called this place the Social Lounge or the Go Lounge or things like that. We're calling it the Park this year because it's going to be kind of a cool organic space. It's in the second floor of the convention center at Mandalay Bay, and it's going to be open every day, Monday through Thursday, for you to come. You can sit down in the what we're calling the Great Lawn, which is a theater. You can watch things as they're being broadcast. There's going to be some activities, pop-up studios and panels there. So we encourage you to drop by and really, take advantage of this opportunity to see what's going on. There's going to be cool activities. I think, Ted, there's going to be a chance to jump on a bike and recharge your device by pedaling.
Yeah, that sounds about right. No, the awesome activity that we're going to have going on at the park is going to involve exactly what you mentioned. You're going to be able to hop on a bike, plug your phone in, and then not only see the wattage that you produce, which, as we talked about with Dave Hawsey yesterday, is clearly a key stat when it comes to cycling efficiency. But we all know what wattage does. It helps power your device. So you're going to be able to see how many devices and for how long you can charge. So as much as you're willing to sweat, you'll be able to get a couple of percent. We know obviously one of the big problems that we run into at these large events is battery drainage, dense network environments, limited Wi-Fi, the dreaded 1X button on your phone. So this offers you an opportunity to get exercise and recharge your phone, which I think is going to be a lot of fun, and it'll include some really cool data visualization, which, of course, at a big data and analytics conference is something that's really applicable. So we're excited for that.
Oh yeah. I'm really excited to see this one. I'm all about the gadgets. The other thing that we just want to point out really quickly here is I mentioned schedule events. There's also a VIP Veranda. That's a place for the guests that are journalists that are at the conference. They're going to be in there doing their thing. The social VIPs, the influencers, they're going to be in there doing their thing, kind of working on content, creating content along with other members of the group, having meetings, all that stuff. So all this is sort of like the centerpiece for the social activity at the conference. I wanted to point out a quick opportunity to use the Twitter app. So we'll highlight apps throughout this conversation. But we're going to be hosting a watch party for the Watson keynote at 2:30 on Tuesday. And this is going to be a cool way for people to drop by and get a Chef Watson smoothie while watching the keynote if you don't go to the actual keynote room. What this gives you the opportunity to do is hang out just like you're watching Netflix with your friends, talk about what's happening as it happens, and tweet about it. And that's going to be displayed in the video wall, the engagement center there in the Great Lawn. So that's a great opportunity to engage the influencers and talk amongst yourselves and tweet about that activity on Tuesday. So with that, I think we're going to switch gears. And what can you tell me? I guess Ted and Doris, you can tag team this one. We want to talk a little bit about another app called IBM Go. What is that?
Sure. Well, I can start off with that, and we'll include Doris on one of the really, really cool opportunities with respect to seeing the conference as it happens live and getting the signal from all of the noise that comes out of it. So IBMGo.com is our newly launched digital interactive experience for IBM Insight, and I would encourage you to go register now for free at IBMGo.com. So when I say a big marketing jargon word like digital interactive experience, what does that really mean? And we've been working for a long time on exactly how we define that. So what does it mean? During the conference itself, general sessions, keynotes, super sessions are all going to be streamed live as they happen from this platform. And you don't even need to be registered for Insight to take advantage of it. You can sign up for free, watch for free. The whole product will not cost you a dime except for your email address. And you'll be able to watch all of those general sessions, keynotes, and super sessions. For the ones in which keynotes and super sessions overlap with each other, one of them will take place live, and then every single one is going to be available on demand, both general sessions, keynotes, and super sessions. In addition to that, one of the big value adds that we're bringing this year is that we're going to be recording over 100 breakout sessions. Some of the really in-the-weeds stuff where practitioners and users of this software can really learn exactly what they're doing. These platforms that are obviously very complex and deliver great value, you can see how to get the most out of those. So when you think about the traditional keynote, general session, and super session structure in terms of the larger event ecosystem, we'll tell you great vignettes on what happens, great success stories, and are an opportunity to introduce some real announcements. For those people who really get down and dirty with these products, you'll be able to see how to really make the most of it using these breakout sessions. And those are all going to be recorded on demand on the platform, available for months to come afterwards. In addition to that, it's our interactive social experience, which I know Ryan can speak quite a bit to. Our crowd chat system, which is our Twitter chat system, is integrated directly into the platform. So while you're watching a keynote and you don't have it full screen, you can just dip one bar below if you full screen your browser, and you can participate in a crowd chat as they happen live. So you can talk about what's going on at the event as it happens. Right below that as well, we're going to have our dedicated influencer hubs. All of the influencers that Ryan and the analytics team has been working so hard on bringing in and making the most of the conference, you're going to be able to check out all of their content as it happens from one ribbon right below, which is really, really exciting and a cool opportunity that not many platforms have at this point. So it's one big integrated digital experience. And then, of course, if you want to read more, you want to go explore, you want a little bit more than a taste, right below all of that, we're going to have content that you can consume, whether it be videos, demos, solution briefs, white paper, stuff that you can really get the most out of your conference that relate to the individual tracks, searchable by word, by name. It's all going to be available there. And, of course, a full schedule view, completely searchable, which allows you to see everything that's happening from a broadcast perspective. So we're really excited about this product. That being said, one of the really cool things in addition to that is the Cube, which has become a staple at IBM Global Conferences. We bring on Dave Vellante to kind of, break through the signal that goes through the noise. That'll be streamed on its own dedicated channel in Go. And Doris Dunn has been working really, really hard on that Cube schedule, and we've got some awesome guests that I would love Doris to mention and just kind of bring up exactly kind of what the layout of things is. Doris?
Sure. Thank you, Ted. So we kicked off the Cube on Monday, and we've got some great guests that'll be with us. We've got Dave Hasse from Attitude Sports will be with us in the Cube. We've also got Ellie Shelley from Local Motors. And we also have Harriet Fryman and Hin-Hu Chu who will be joining us on that Monday. Then we come back the next day on Tuesday, and we've got our own IBM Senior Vice President of Analytics, Bob Picciano. And we are very fortunate to have David Kenny from the Weather Channel to give his perspective. So we've got an exciting full day back-to-back from morning until the evening. I also want to give a big shout-out, as you mentioned, to Dave Valenti, you know, from the Silicon Angle crew. Looking forward to seeing them out in Las Vegas at Insight. But most importantly, we encourage you, as Ted mentioned, to log on to ibmgo.com. Stay plugged into the hot topics. Check out interviews that will take place from our roving reporter. And we hope to see you either at Insight or at Insight Go.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm looking for. We always look forward to this. Yeah. These great conversations take place on Go, and you know, they go to lots of conferences. Some of our competitors, they're sort of plugged into the scene, and they really provide a good sort of layer on top of everything that's happening. I want to switch gears really quick, and I'm going to skip around a little bit. I want to talk again about another feature of the park, and this is something interesting, something new. Eileen, I want to hear about how do we control this new house DJ that we're going to have in the park. We're calling it, I think we're calling it Internet of Tunes. Is that right?
Of Tunes, yes. Rock the DJ. It's actually, this is really cool. You can tweet your song requests for the DJ using the hashtag IoTUNES. See, it's kind of like IoT, Internet of Things, but it's IoT, Internet of Tunes.
Yeah, not two T's, right.
Yeah, one T. So you use that hashtag, and you also use our main event hashtag, IBM Insight. And that will go to the park's house DJ, and he will play your favorite song. So that is actually a really cool thing. We're looking forward to that.
All right, so who do you want to hear?
Oh.
On the spot.
Well, Maroon 5, of course.
That was the easy one. Okay, yes, there will be lots of Maroon 5, I'm sure, but there will be some cool stuff, I'm sure, pop out of this. We love to make everything interactive in the park. We mentioned the charge bikes, where you get to ride a bike and charge up and see the data viz. I also wanted to give a chance to go back and talk a little bit about a new game that we are going to have here at the conference this year. So, Ted, I wanted to talk about these sort of updates to Event Connect, which Event Connect is a way, of course, to schedule your sessions and track your calendar at the conference and connect with attendees. But we're adding a couple of new features that are really cool for interactivity. So tell us about Insight Bucks.
Yeah, so there's a ton going on with the mobile app itself, and we've spent a lot of time to really make it a great attendee added value feature. Just off the top, when you get on site, you're going to be able to search your schedule. The whole thing is a text search field. So you'll be able to type in a session number, 40558, for instance, and it'll bring up a session. You could write systems and architecture. You could just start with systems. It'll bring up all of those in a real-time environment, which is really, really cool. But from an interactivity standpoint, we're going to have all sorts of integrations with both social media and an internal gamification engine. A gamification is a word that gets used, especially by influencers, quite a lot to talk about incentivizing people to do things. But in this case, I think we've really, really defined exactly what we want people to do. So what does all this mean? Let's back up and talk about it. Insight Bucks. Insight Bucks is our new interactive game that will happen from within the mobile app at IBM Insight. So what's going to happen is when you download your mobile app, you open it, and then you click the Insight Bucks button on the menu tab. You're going to get brought to this really, really cool portal that's going to have a bunch of challenges that you can complete on site. Some of these challenges range from visiting expo booths to participating in interactive experiences. That bike charging station is one of them, and you're going to earn points for doing things, making the most of your conference, things that you would already do, but we want to give you rewards for doing them. So the big question is, and I think one of the biggest struggles from an enterprise situation on what does gamification mean and what's the value of it for people, we're going to give people points and we're going to show them on a leaderboard, but that's not really it for us. When you hit 1,000 points, we've actually established a point-of-sale system from within a digital store on the mobile app, which is really cool. So when you hit 1,000 Insight Bucks, you're going to be able to redeem that for a QR code valid at the vending machines throughout the conference. And you'll be able to get a lot of cool stuff out of that. You can get a tumbler, a power bar. That previously mentioned power issue is something that just keeps coming. So a power bar for your phone, a game day bag, that'll all be available through the store. If you complete the Race to Insight challenge being presented by the Advanced Analytics team, you'll be eligible for a messenger bag or a Bluetooth speaker. And then, if you're not an IBMer and you're not a public sector employee, if you're top 5 through Wednesday on the Insight Bucks leaderboard, you have the most points for doing challenges, getting bonuses, going out and doing things, you'll win an Apple Watch, which is really, really cool. And if you're top 10 through Tuesday, the day before, we want to give you floor passes to the special event that's going on Wednesday. And we're not only going to do that for you, we're going to give you those floor passes +1 for the event itself, which is going to be really cool. It's just an awesome opportunity to make the most of your time at Insight. It's at the end of the day, it's rolled out in a really cool, sleek interface that integrates directly into the mobile app. So we're really excited about it.
Yeah. I think just everybody check this out. All of the stuff that Ted tried to compress into a couple of minutes explanation, all that is there's lots of help tips embedded within the app this year to help you with that as well. So please check that out. It's going to be a cool new feature. I'm excited to see what's in the vending machines. That's a really cool feature as well. With the time we have left, I think we're going to spend a couple more minutes just talking about a couple of other apps. You mentioned you can win a tumbler, but I want to talk about a different tumbler for a minute with Eileen. We have a tumbler that is a website, of course. You don't know what Tumblr it is. It's a blog platform that's very mobile friendly, and it's the primary way that we share a lot of our mobile sort of friendly news each day, daily comms stories, some of the social beats, content from the social leads around all the brands will be featuring content there as well. All the video, some of the video content, right? That's coming out of people's mobile phones in that group. A lot of this is going to be featured on the Tumblr. So, Eileen, is there anything else you want to add to that? I guess.
I think you covered it. No.
I know.
You can find our Tumblr blog. It's just IBM Events, so ibmevents.tumblr.com. It's great. We can't fit everything in a tweet, of course, so it's kind of going to be your go-to source for everything that's going on around the event and daily comms, as you mentioned, along with a mix of newsroom content, like content or posts that are on the Big Data Hub. So we'll do cross-posting with them, but we'll also have our own wrap-ups on today's sessions and keynotes and receptions, which there are tons of, so and photos, of course. So we'll have that all on Tumblr, so you should need to check it out.
Awesome. I'm also going to encourage anyone to, if they want to ask us a question, of course you can do that on Twitter. People know how to do that. There's also an Ask Us Anything kind of feature. You can go to that same website /ask and send questions, and we'll get them in our inbox. So we're here, I guess, to help with questions about social media as well, or the conference. So with that, I think we're going to wrap this up and talk about just briefly that we want to encourage everybody not only to consume all this content, but share their own content. So when you look at sharing pictures, of course, Instagram, use the conference hashtag IBM Insight, and we're going to feature some of those each day in different ways, whether it's in the engagement center video walls that are in the park or around the conference on digital displays, but also within our own conference accounts and on our Tumblr. So we want to make sure that everybody shares their content as it's happening. We want to see the sights and sounds from the perspective of all the 14,000 plus people that are going to be in Vegas next week. So I think we will end on our standard question, and I know you've already answered this one, Ted, so you're going to be on the spot. I will come up with a new answer, but our standard,
now you need more.
Our standard question, unless you just want to abstain this time, is give us a conference or just travel survival tip that we can give to everyone, and we've been compiling quite a list of these, so you can't choose things like hydration or shoes. Those things are too obvious. What else do you got? Either let's go, Doris. Do you have anything for us?
Bring lots of money. It's Las Vegas.
Perfect. Perfect. That's
Go to
right.
the ATM machine.
You know, I had a buddy who used to say that when you, and I'm not advocating this in any way, shape, or form, but when you get off the plane, you put $500 on red or black on a table, and that will sort of indicate your luck for the week.
500, huh? Who's this? Who was this deep-pocketed friend that you have, Ryan?
Semi-professional, I guess. I know people.
We need to out this source.
Not an IBMer. So, Eileen, putting you on the spot, what do you think? What's your number one survival tip? It could be for even how you prepare for the trip.
Okay. Well, I was going to say something about shoes, but no. Okay, if you don't have your hotel room reserved anymore, you probably won't be able to find one. But Ryan is actually offering out a room in his suite. Right. So just him, and he should help out.
Right. Thank you for that.
Mm-hmm.
How about Ted? Have you come up with anything new today?
I think drinking water is a pretty great just baseline. Stay hydrated has always been a motto for my entire life. 'Cause if you're hydrated, it's just that's kind of the check mark that starts it all. You know, there's must-haves, there's nice-to-haves, and then there's staying hydrated and drinking
Either
water.
that or yeah, they have these oxygen bars. I guess that can be a good substitute too. But yeah, you're keeping yourself hydrated and oxygenated while you're in that dry environment. And it really affects you depending on where you're coming from, how far you've traveled. My tip of the week is going to be, we've talked about before exploring new things. I'm going to say, hey, my tip is you should drop by the park and make sure you grab one of our field guides. It's a handy-dandy little folded handout that we're giving that has hashtags. It has handles of all the speakers and the keynotes and super sessions and general sessions. It's a handy little thing that you can use while they last. We're giving them away for you to sort of just have a really quick, fast reference. It fits in your pocket for you to use while you're doing your tweeting or Instagramming or your Snapchatting or your whatever you're doing. So with that, I want to thank the whole team for joining today. I'm very excited to see you guys in a couple days, face to face, as well as everybody that's out there on the interwebs watching this. So. Any parting words from anybody before we say bon voyage and see you in Vegas?
Rest up.
All right.
Safe flight.
Rest up and safe flight. Those are excellent. Yes. Take time to enjoy the view. So I'll see you all in a couple days, and everyone else, we look forward to seeing you in Las Vegas at Insight 2015.